Hello YouTube, this is Morgan, Airspeed Prime here with my next YouTube video, and this is going to be my first Avatar news update video in a while. And the main reason I'm doing this here is because we actually have got a decent amount of news to cover. As I mentioned before, I am going to wait for a lot of news to build up before I kind of even do these videos, so there is a lot of news now to cover, which is why I'm going to do this. And what really inspired me to do this one was the recent announcement just like a day or two ago, which I will talk about in this video. The first thing to mention is that there is a new Korra game up on nick.com. It's called Republic City Run. And pretty simple to get to. Go to nick.com, go to the Korra section, click the games section within that Korra section, and it should be right there. It's a chibi game. You should see Chibi Korra there, and click that and you'll play Republic City Run. Really fun game, highly addicting, so if you play it, just be wary of that you may get addicted to it. Basically you're Chibi Korra, you're running through the streets of Republic City, jumping over equalists, on motorbikes, on cables, on foot. There's even mecha tanks. You can bend to get them out of your way or just jump over them. Really fun game, and the main goal is just to get as far as you can in the game in terms of meters covered, and there's also upgrades like master bending to like increase your bending powers and get more coins and stuff like that for upgrades. Such a good game. The highest score I have ever seen is by Peter, or Rabidoo. You may know him from the Avatar Online podcast, a co-host there. Just about 5,000, I believe, his highest score, and that's the highest score I've seen online. My highest score is just about 3,000, I think. Not really sure off the top of my head, but definitely if you get a really high score, tell me about it. Really want to know how you did that. So, new core game, that's it. Next one is that Avatar comics are now available to buy digitally from digital.darkhorse.com. Now this is interesting for some people, definitely, because basically Avatar comics have only been able to buy physical copies, the actual books. You have to go to a comic store, order them online, and wait for them to arrive. With digital things, it means that you just buy it, download it to your iPod, iPod Touch, iPad, and you have it there straight there and then. Now, what it doesn't really say here is that if future Avatar comics are going to see day one digital releases, like say March 20th when the Search Part 1 comes out, are we actually going to get that digitally the same day as it's out in the physical stores? That's what we're not quite sure of yet. What it does confirm, though, is that it's going to go up digitally much sooner than obviously the rest of the comics have before, because it's basically, with this announcement, they put everything up that they could, Dark Horse, including the Promise Parts 1, 2, and 3, the Lost Adventures comic, the Avatar The Last Airbender 2011 Free Comic Book Day comic, and also the art book, Avatar art book, so that's up on to get digitally as well, if you want that way. What this also means, is good news for some of us, is that the Free Comic Book Day 2013 comic about May, that many people have been worried about, like how are they going to get it, it means that that's probably going to be available digitally as well, maybe a day or two after the actual event on May 4th, but it's definitely going to be available for everyone to get. So I think that definitely eases a lot of my worries, because I wasn't able to get the comic in 2011, so that's good for me, at least. Avatar comics available digitally from Dark Horse, digital.darkhorse.com. A tiny bit cheaper, I believe, than the actual physical copies of the book, though if they do day one digital releases, it'll be the exact same price, just so you know. Next piece of news is the big news, and I'm going to after I say it, I'm going to insert a screenshot of it, and that is that the Search Part 2 cover has been announced, as well as the I suppose solicitation description of what it's about. That's been announced also. So I'll just let you see the cover now. Really cool art, definitely. I love the it's just probably the best looking Avatar cover we've seen in a while. It just looks so good with the I love the use of blue, the whole forest background, and then definitely what on earth is that spirit wolf about. I was going to read the solicitation of this now. Just have it up here on my iPod Touch. Let's see. Avatar: The Last Airbender: The Search, Part 2, trade paperback. That's what it's called. Written by Gene Yang. Michael Dante DiMartino, Brian Konietzko. Also given writing credits in the solicitations. That tells you all you need to know, really. Team Guru on art and also the cover. It's going to be on sale July 10th in comic book stores. And if you're looking for like Amazon dates and stuff like that, it's not yet up for pre-order, but as far as I know, the main thing to do has been maybe add 13 days onto it, because bookstore release date is usually a Tuesday, so that'd be July 23rd as the release date. 80 pages, so the same size as the Promise Parts 1, 2, and 3. $10.99 is the retail price, and it's 6 inches by 11, so the same size as the other books. The description: in search of their long-lost mother, Fire Lord Zuko and his deadly and insane sister Azula have brought Avatar Aang and his friends into a mysterious forest. But what they discover within may be more than they can face. Will they be too lost in these? Will they too be lost in these woods forever? So they're gonna eventually, on the search for Ursa, go into this forest, and will they too be lost in these woods forever? So something else is lost in these woods. Is it Ursa? Has she been taken by spirits? Who knows? That's definitely going to be interesting to see what comes of that. So, Search Part 2, definitely really excited now for this, because I suppose it means that we're the confirmation of what that spiritual aspect of the search that we've heard about is, and the spirit wolf that we've seen definitely is going to be pretty interesting. Like, as you can see it like there on my iPod, like, what is this spirit wolf? We've seen a spirit wolf before in 119, I believe, or into 120 in Avatar, when he visits the spirit world. You see this giant wolf. Not confirmed if it's the same one, but could be likely. Anyway, move on to the next one, and that is that kind of news that's been maybe misinterpreted a lot by people. Janet Varney is going to be attending Matsuricon 2013, and that's going to be in Houston, Texas, from March 29th to the 31st. She will only be in attendance on the Friday, March 29th, and she'll be there to sign autographs and be there for like photo ops with fans. Both cost, I think, $25 each, or $45 if you want an autograph and a photo opportunity. A lot of people have been really taking this as if there's going to be a Book 2 panel about all this news that's going to be there, and she's going to be the one to reveal it all. That's not really going to happen, because Janet Varney is the only Korra crew cast member to be confirmed to be attending this con, and I've never heard of one voice actor attending a convention and revealing crazy exclusive news. If there is a panel, it will be a Janet Varney panel where she talks about her own work. She may mention a few little things about Book 2, like what Korra goes through, like some really subtle information, but I don't think we're going to get any big reveals from that, because she can only really talk about news that's officially been released. So, like, if we get news before then, she'll probably be able to talk about that news. That's what that's about. And since she's only in attendance on one day, and she's like giving like paid autographs and photo opportunities, that's what most of her day will be kind of spent doing, I think. So, but I don't see much chance for her to really have a panel if that's not confirmed. So I wouldn't be too confident about getting mass amounts of news there. The Korra Book 1 Air DVD, next piece of news, finally has a release date of May 21st, 2013. Just got this from the shopnick.com website, and also Amazon. I wouldn't call this completely 100% confirmed yet, because Amazon, if this news comes from Amazon, then it's kind of up in the air whether it's true, because they get their release dates and sometimes they're wrong until like a few weeks before it actually comes out. If it comes from Nick officially, then it is true, but we don't know which one came first, basically, is the thing. May 21st seems, I guess, a likely date, because they finished the DVD commentaries and stuff like that, and it seems like a likely date that they would definitely be able to get the thing out by then, if not before it. Though if it is May 21st, Nick seriously need to work on their definition of the word soon. We saw that DVD trailer in like late December and said coming soon. If this is indeed the release date, that's 6 months, and how anyone can say 6 months is soon is beyond me. But the next piece of news is probably the biggest piece of news here, and that is that The Legend of Korra is confirmed to be getting an art book, and it's a book 1 Air art book, Art of the Animated Series. We saw a solicitation cover as well as 2 preview pages, which I'm going to show you now. And basically, the first thing to say is that it's out July 24th in comic book stores, which again, add 13 onto that, and you'll most likely get the Amazon date and the other bookstore date. So, you know, sometime in August, it seems likely. The cover is just a placeholder solicitation cover, so it's confirmed by Brian, that himself and Joaquin Dos Santos are going to be basically doing a new cover for the book. So the image is just an image to go with the solicitation to kind of give an official look. It's not actually what the cover is going to be. But the big news from this is that it's 184 pages. It's the same size as the original series' art book. So while this covered 61 episodes, we're going to get the same size book in terms of like dimensions and page count. That's going to cover just 12 episodes, which means rather than this book, which basically had about 2-3 pages per episode, we're going to have about like 15 pages an episode. And even at that, that would give like 60 pages to do just general designs for the series and stuff like that. So I'm a huge fan of the decision to give the book 1 Air its own art book, because it'll just this one felt kind of sparse in terms of like, if you were looking for a really minor character and see their design, you're most likely not going to get it unless they're a huge part of the episode. So I'm happy that most likely this book means we're going to get designs for nearly everything we want to see. And it kind of also confirms that we're going to be getting a book 2, 3, and 4 art book also, which is going to be really cool. Like, to have a collection of Avatar art book, book 1, 2, 3, Korra, 4 Korra art book, that's just amazing. Retail price is $34.99, same price as this book, which is pretty reasonable for an art book. You know, it's a big hardcover book, nearly 200 pages, lots of colour, big book, makes sense. And that's really all to say, apart from if you saw those preview images. It also confirms 2 little pieces of information about Naga and Pabu. With the Naga one, it confirms basically how she and Korra met. When Naga was a pup, she was lost in a tundra, and Korra courageously befriended her because it's basically said that people of the Water Tribe are usually afraid of polar bear dogs, but Korra was courageous and befriended Naga when Naga was young and herself was young also. With Pabu, it explains how Pabu and Bolin met. When Bolin was 14, he rescued Pabu from a nasty pet shop, so obviously owner mistreating like Pabu probably. And that basically confirms it's only 2 years before the start of the series, kind of when Pabu and Bolin met, which is interesting. So if we get that sort of information about every character, that's going to be a very, very interesting book. Next piece of news is that Alison Stoner is going to be voicing a character in Korra. If you don't know who Alison Stoner is, she played I believe the youngest girl in Sheeper by the Dozen 1 and 2. She also voices Isabella in Phineas and Ferb. She's going to be voicing a character called Opal, O-P-A-L, in Korra. Now, it's not confirmed if it's book 2 or book 3 or 4. All it says that in 2013 she will be voicing a character called Opal. Now, if that means she's going to be appearing on screen in 2013, that means it's a book 2 character. If it just means that she's voicing a character in 2013, that most likely means it's a book 3 or 4 character. If it is a book 2 character, perhaps that's the name of Desna's sister, who's basically Korra's cousin, Unalak's daughter. But we don't really know that for sure, so that's an interesting voice announcement. Final pieces of information, I guess, are just about release date of Korra. We don't yet know it, but a few things are kind of hinting towards it. The track team is now back working again on Korra. They're basically confirmed that they're working on Book 2 Spirits, the music, and we know that the last step in kind of these animated shows is always the soundtrack, as well as additional dialogue replacement for the voice actors. So It's confirmed that at least it's definitely started, which means that book 2 production is very close to being finished. Though we don't know exactly how long that's going to take, so it most likely hints at the release date being like 2 or 3 months away, maybe earlier. Who knows? They could just be very down to the wire, and it could actually happen soon. The next one is that Brian on Tumblr mentioned that they recently just got in a first take animation for a new episode of Korra. They didn't say what season it was from, but if that's book 2 and it's not like the last episode, I'd be very concerned about the show airing soon. Because first take animation, and he mentioned in the same post that they usually go 2 and 3 takes, like kind of like sending back, getting changes done, and stuff like that. So if this is book 3, that's great. They're well in terms of production, and that's good. But if not, I'd be very concerned. So in terms of the book 2 release date, like we kind of all we have confirmed is around the first half of 2013. And that was the complete estimate, just throwing out something. That's like the first 6 months of the year, and realistically after that, if they're not going to do it, it's most likely going to be around winter time maybe before they do it, if they don't want to air it in the summer. But we're in kind of like mid-February around now, so they realistically have to get news out about the show within the next month and a half. Like, if we don't know a release date around the end of March, then the show's definitely not going to air in April, pretty much. So, I'd still say end of April into early May is a good estimate for Korra, but nothing is confirmed. We really just need that air date. That said, we have a lot of stuff kind of coming up, I suppose. Like February 20th, we have the Promise hardcover release coming out. March 20th, we have the Search Part 1 coming out. Then in July we have the Korra art book, we have the Search Part 2, we have the Revolution book the Endgame book follow up to Revolution, and the DVD in May. It's we have a lot to look forward to, I think. So that's been my Korra news update. Thank you for watching this, and I'll do a news update next time there is a lot of news. So thank you for watching, and bye.